What's going on, guys? Another movie review coming for you today, and today we're talking about The Lion King, aka live action, really photoreal CGI, just another version of more realistic animation. And I saw this movie, guys, going in with all the critic reviews coming out a week before the movie came out, saying that there's a little expression, things were not there was a lack of just a depth of emotion, a lack of good acting, a lack of just a big lack in performance-wise, guys. I guess a motivation, when the lines are said, just a lot of different things. Let's start with the positives about the film. Let's talk about the good things, because there's a lot more negative than good about this movie, and which is very sad to say. Let's talk about the good things in the movie. First of all, Jon Favreau and crew and everyone involved with Disney in this movie, the CGI in this film was just incredibly phenomenal from start to finish. It looks so real at times. Sometimes it can even take you out of the movie from you watching like a Animal Planet kind of Discovery Channel kind of thing, like a featurette with certain how the animals walk. Sometimes it looked a little fake, but a majority of the time, 80% more of the movie, it looked really real. And just the scenery was just beautiful and gorgeous. The colors, the deepness of the blacks, just the landscape, everything was beautifully done by Jon Favreau. I give him real props for that. That was probably the best thing that was about the movie. It looked just great. Oh man. And I'll say that Seth Rogen's Pumbaa and the guy that played Timon, they both did a great job. They were the standouts of the film. They did incredibly well. Beyonce as Nala was all right. And then really after that, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, this movie, really, guys, why was this movie even made? I mean, why? There was honestly no reason to remake The Lion King. It's really sad to say that these actors portraying these characters didn't give a really good performance. It was really just kind of terrible watching. I mean, yes, the first opening scene is pretty much the same scene as the original. Instead of a hill panning shot, you get like a side panning shot and you see Pride Rock. You get the opening. It's cool. It's pretty much a shot for shot from the original, the cartoon, but it just wasn't very good. The movie was kind of just very boring at times. And that's really sad to say. I love The Lion King. That's one of my all-time Disney classic movies, but this movie was just not good. From start to finish, it was just terrible. And the voice acting was just blah. They didn't even feel like they were trying half the time. And I don't know what was going on with that. And these are top of the line actors right here. All these actors. And I don't understand what the heck happened here. We'll just start out with everybody in the movie Little Simba, the guy that played Little Simba, I'd say he was okay. He was decently okay. He gave a decent performance. Singing voice was good. The girl that played Nala, she did pretty good. Young Nala was okay. So I guess those two good characters were all right. They did the best they can with the emotionless animals. I mean, they could have made these lions a little bit more have emotion, putting a little bit more depth in their face. I mean, you're making a live action movie that's still, they're singing, it's all the same from The Lion King, and you want to make it more realistic as possible. At the same time, this is a musical where the lions are going to be singing, they're going to be moving differently. Like, you have to put emotion and everything into it. So that was even in Can't Wait to Be King, when the very end of the song, it just has them their teeth and their mouth moving with their teeth just sticking out and with no emotion on their face. And through the whole song, it's just dang, there's nothing that's even remotely good about it. I'm like, this is terrible. Terrible. And I really tried to like this movie. And for the first 30, 40 minutes of the movie, I was bored. I was just like, man, there is just such a lack of emotion. Even though they really added a lot of stupid things to this movie. The very beginning, if you see the movie, I would recommend not watching this. The animated version is just trumps this movie by, no pun intended, but trumps this movie by just by a billion. It really just does. There's just no reason to remake this film. None at all. The guy who plays Scar, he is a really great actor, really good actor. Really, these are all solid actors and actresses, but he did not play Scar well. He played him just like whatever. The original actor who played Scar, he did such a better job. He had the flamboyantness. He had the sarcasticness. He gave a crap about what he was portraying. He did a great job. These voice performances were just so subpar. It's like you have a freaking horrible, blah. I felt like this was done like a freaking high school, like a college or high school play that was just done at a subpar level. That was just, these are top of the line Hollywood actors, and they're giving it just whatever performance. Like Jon Favreau, what was going on here? You have emotionless freaking characters from the CGI perspective, and you have emotionless actors giving an emotionless performance. I don't understand what went into this, because there was just very little emphasis in the voices, very little. You just don't. It's both. It's just terrible. I was just like, are you kidding me? And Scar wasn't good. I did not enjoy it. Surabhi was okay. The lady who played Surabhi wasn't too bad. I mean, there was things about the movie that weren't great, but she wasn't okay. Gosh, you get into some of the scenes, like the Stampede scene. You take out this famous Simba shot where he's looking at the camera and he's like, emotion, and then you see, even Mufasa's death scene it just didn't have the same impact. Some scenes, there was a pause and you would have a break and you have more of a reaction in the animated. In this movie, lines were just carried just terribly. And sometimes they just felt rushed. They just were said. Be Prepared was even half done. The song was and then the hyenas characters, they had Keegan-Michael Key and a few other guys playing the hyenas. And it was, that storyline was a little changed. But it's okay, you gotta change some things. But it was just not good. And that song, they cut Be Prepared down. Just a lot of things for some reason, this movie is supposed to be almost a half hour longer. They cut stuff down that just really didn't make sense. Things that contributed, it didn't make any sense. And it was a disappointment. Until you got to see Seth Rogen as Pumbaa later on in the movie, that's when the movie actually started to get a little bit better. And those characters, did pretty well. Seth Rogen and Timon, they even though they were they had maybe a little bit more emotion, maybe a little. I was hoping, maybe in my imagination, but Seth Rogen was probably the best part about this film as Pumbaa. Being serious, he probably was the best voice actor out of every single actor in this film. I'm dead serious, and that's really sad to say. Who else? Donald Glover as adult Simba. He was whatever, He's a good actor. Now, Donald Glover's a good actor. He's does all different shows. He's done different movies, and he's done really well. Does really well. But I think this was a miscast. This was definitely a miscast of Simba. He did not give a full effort. It just felt very blah and blank. He just wasn't there. Even when he was singing "Can't You Feel the Love Tonight" with Beyonce, and Beyonce even sounded weird. It didn't work very well. Things did not go very well. It just wasn't going good. And it just, with Donald Glover and Beyonce, they just didn't match. They didn't mix. And Beyonce would overpower, but her voice didn't really sound that great either, which was confusing because Beyonce has a pretty good voice, and that was not great either. There was just too many scenes, and then they have the whole Simba scene when his scent flies to Rafiki. That scene, I'm not going to give it away, but that scene was terrible. They added some stupid, just his fur flying through the nature and how it got there. And there's this thing with poop and things. It was just I looked at my wife watching this. I'm like, seriously right now? This is really stupid. Rafiki, also bland, blah, terrible character. The voice actor is a good actor, and another, just there's no energy there. He's not the Rafiki. They don't have the fun stuff with him whacking Simba in the head and saying, "Oh, the past can't hurt." Boom. And you have all that. Even the scene with Simba and Mufasa in the clouds, you just see the clouds rumbling. You never see Mufasa through the clouds. There's just so much this movie lacks. There's no motivation that Simba has. Even at the very end of the movie with Scar and they have their battle, yes, it looks cool, but there's just a lack of Donald Glover has. And all these characters just lack in the film. And it sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. And I'm like, dang, I want to go home and watch the animated movie to get rid of the crap of the live action. I was really hoping for this movie to be good. But it wasn't. It wasn't good. This movie was crap. It was junk. Gosh, it was junk. And this, like, the only thing that was good about this movie was the stunning visuals. But to remake this movie was stupid. They should have brought all the original voice actors back, emoted the animals, and then you might have had a good movie. But I'm going to tell you one thing. There is one disappointment of this whole film that really shocked me, and that really made me very sad. One of the biggest, probably the biggest disappointment of this film was James Earl Jones. And I love James Earl Jones. I love him as Darth Vader. I Field of Dreams, he's fantastic. He's done movies in the 60s, he's been fantastic. As the Lion King voice, he's fantastic. I love him in Coming to America. He is a really good actor. But I feel like in this movie, he has no emphasis behind his voice. I felt like he just showed up and just was saying the lines. And like when you watch the original, I was going through the movie in my head, because it's one of my favorite all-time, animated films. I'm like, there's no emotion, there's no expression in his voice, there's no carry in his voice. He's literally all these lines below subpar. I'm just like, he also sounds a lot older, which I don't think it really doesn't work. He's older now, and it felt like a lot of these actors just didn't give a what. And it's terrible. Mufasa, one of the best voices in James Earl Jones, didn't even care. They're all there basically to collect a paycheck from Disney. This is a big money grab from Disney. Aladdin was probably the best out of all of them, and that got terrible critic reviews. Right now, this movie is standing at a 57% Rotten Tomatoes, and I can see why. I'd probably give this movie probably around that too. A 5. I'll just say my score now. I'll probably give this movie a 5 out of 10. This movie was just not good. I guess I'll give it a 5 because the visuals were just crazy stunning, but honestly, I would really watch this movie again. Besides the stunning visuals, this movie was garbage. And James Earl Jones just didn't have it, just like the original. The scenes were some of the scenes were cut in half. They added just dumb bonus scenes. The scene with Nala escaping Pride Rock from Scar, trying to find some help when when Scar takes over. Okay, that was all right. But there's no emotion in these animals, and it's the same movie. All the original scenes are the same. They add stuff here and there, but it just doesn't work. This movie doesn't land, and it's so disappointing. I'm watching this, like, we did not mean to make this, Disney. Bob Iger, Alan Horn, the heads of Disney. Why did we make this film? Jon Favreau, why did you make this film? You're better than this. This could have been prevented. This movie did not need to be made. I was too excited for this film, and when the critics' reviews came out, it disappointed me tremendously. And that's all I can say. I would recommend this. I would not recommend going to see it. If you are a true fan, this is a new generational Lion King. And when I was leaving the theater, there was quite a few people saying, "Oh, this movie's funnier than the original." Are you kidding me? No, it is not. Oh, I like this better than the animated. And I'm sure there'll be children of my children and generation children will like this movie and will find it better than the original. This is not anywhere in the same category as the original Lion King. Disney needs to stop with these live action movies. People need to stop going to them, the remakes, come up with some new content, continue it, but make good movies. In a way, Star Wars, has been kind of another example. Star Wars has been decent, and I've enjoyed The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but honestly, I'm liking the prequels a lot more. I hope The Rise of Skywalker really just sticks to landing, because if it doesn't, Disney's going to have some issues. They're already having issues at Galaxy's Edge with loss of attendance and people complaining that there's nothing to do for kids. They only have one ride and everything's just hundreds of dollars. It's expensive as crap. and then there won't be a ride for a few more months down the road, but it's very limited to do. But Disney is just, I don't know what's going on with Disney. I'm a Disney fan. Disney has, Avengers Endgame was fantastic. There's some things about Disney that are great, but Star Wars it's been okay. It's not been my favorite trilogy. The original and the prequels, I like the prequels more, honestly, than the new trilogy, even though I really like the acting better than the new trilogy. But same goes with The Lion King. You have these amazing actors that could do great, that this movie suffers because it feels like they're just delivering the lines just like whatever. It was terrible. I'll get off my soapbox now, but I wish this movie could have been better, and this shouldn't have been made. People are liking this movie. Some people are. And when I was hearing people, and I'm leaving the theater, I'm just like, man, I don't know what these people are thinking, because it was not great. But that's really it, guys. That is really my review of The Lion King. And what do you think? Comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. If you've seen The Lion King, did you enjoy it? I don't know what else I missed. If I missed anything, really, I mean, I just don't know, guys. It's disappointing to me. It really is. It's disappointing because this movie could have been great. But make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We got my It final trailer review reaction up. We got many other videos, guys, to the channel. Milan reaction. So much more good videos to come, guys. A few more reactions come this weekend. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. Help us get, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys. And if you guys want to see us get to 1,000, guys, I will shave my head bald. There's something I will do. Motivation for you guys out there. If you want to see this guy with no hair, get us to 1,000 subscribers so we can get this channel working, get them going. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Peace.